Thanks for listening to the Career Planning Show, hosted by Alex Rashkanu and sponsored by Staples Studio. You can listen to a new episode every Monday on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or any other platform where podcasts are played. If you'd like to ask a question, please submit it at www.rascanu.com/The Career Planning Show. We record the Career Planning Show in the podcast booth inside the Staples Studio co-working space located in Midtown Toronto, Canada. Staples Studio not only offers a safe space to work with desks, offices, private phone booths, and meeting rooms, they are also connected to the Staples Store, where they have everything you need under one roof. With locations across Canada, Staples Studio is a community to help you work, learn, and grow. To learn about their co-working space locations, pricing, and amenities, visit studio.staples.ca and book a virtual tour. John Bowman is an executive and personal development coach specializing in career change and acceleration. He has worked in the public and private sectors, in industries ranging from biotechnology to hospitality, and for companies he built himself from the ground up. Through his coaching practice, John helps people identify priorities, goals, and concrete action plans to move them forward. Learn about John's services at bhg-coaching.com. I found John's story to be intriguing in that he created a chain of coffee shops in Rotterdam, Netherlands, and then a series of other businesses before focusing on executive and personal development coaching. I also enjoyed learning that he found the DISC personal assessment tool to be helpful. Hear his career journey and his career development insights for yourself. Welcome to the Career Planning Show. My name is Alex Rashkanu, and here with us today we have John Bowman. John, would you mind walking us through your career journey so far?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Alex. My career journey has been pretty circuitous, I'd say. Journey is a great word. I originally studied biology at the University of Waterloo, and from there went on to grad school at University of Toronto, completed a master's in medical genetics. But I realized while I was in grad school that I really wasn't enjoying it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't enjoying the day-to-day work. I wasn't feeling fulfilled or positive, and so I kind of had a bit of a crisis because I always wanted to be a biologist. Mm-hmm. And so at that point, I have a bit of a crisis. I don't know what I'm going to do, and I look around. And I did what a lot of people, I think, do, or the choice I made a lot of people make, is I went to business school. And I went to business school with the idea that I would learn a lot of new tools and a lot of new opportunities would open up for me. And it was fantastic. I went to the University of the Erasmus University of Rotterdam, to the Rotterdam School of Management. It was a very international class, so a lot of things were really rewarding about that. And from there, I became an entrepreneur. I had a small chain of coffee houses in the Netherlands. I returned to Canada, managed a hotel, opened up a restaurant, a supplement store, a skate shop, all sorts of things. Yeah, and then
which one was the most enjoyable experience in terms of maybe the customer experience that you were able to offer and the joy that you got out of it? Was there one particular business that you ran that was the most engaging for you?
That's a great question. I mean, they were all very different experiences. I think the coffee houses when I was in the Netherlands were the most, I'm going to say challenging, and not so much from the customer perspective. Yeah. But it was a sustainable business model, and we had a lot of opportunity to speak to business leaders in the Netherlands about that model.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and so in that sense, it was really rewarding, and it was like an amazing learning opportunity, and it was my first business on my own. So
that's great.
So a lot of challenges and learning happens during that.
And somehow through that entrepreneurial journey, you ended up getting closer and closer to health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I almost want to go back a moment.
Yeah.
Because this will come back later. It was actually during my business studies that I was introduced to coaching, to formal coaching. In that program, we had a professional development module, and coaching was part of that. And the person who was the teacher or the instructor for that, her name is Julie Johnson. She's remained somebody that I'm in contact with, and she really sparked this interest in coaching.
Yes,
and that kind of has carried through the years. Yeah, and as you say, I really did move somehow closer and closer to health and fitness.
Yeah.
I think it was somewhat inadvertent at first. It was really like I was always a person, at least in my adult life, who went to the gym and who fitness and healthy eating was important to. It was when I opened the supplement store that it really sort of focused and became something more concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened afterwards?
So at one point, that supplement store and the restaurant and the skate shop, those were all in Pembroke. So in Northern Ontario, somewhat Northern Ontario. And there just came a point where I felt like I had been away from big city life and from different kind of communities, and just decided to make a change.
Yeah.
And that's when I moved to Toronto. That was almost 9 years ago now.
Wow. So you let go of all those business initiatives.
Yeah.
It must have been difficult to make that decision. How does one go about selling a number of businesses over a relatively short period of time? How does that work? Can it work well, especially given the diversification that you had in place?
God, I'm not sure if I can answer that in a really simple manner. There were a couple different sales involved, so a couple different buyers, and I think I was lucky that people I knew in the community, who were customers or just people that I knew, had an interest in those businesses. And
That's
actually,
great.
the restaurant was sold to one of our employees.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great scenario.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing, right? To be working in a business that you actually enjoy working at and then being able to purchase it.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about starting and selling small businesses, it's not necessarily a huge windfall or anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
because you did put money up front and just trying to get the shirt back on your,
Yeah, exactly. And, a lot of those decisions weren't necessarily financially motivated at all. They were really just about making a transition to something else, having a good idea of what it was that was important and what I was making that change for.
That's right. And you moved to Toronto.
Yeah.
And what was the next step?
The next step was there was a bit of a plan to start up a fitness-focused business that kind of fell apart. And so I ended up, by chance, working in event security. Yeah, so a total change again. Another fascinating industry to work in. You're working concerts and festivals, and you're getting a chance to interact with artists and musicians and all sorts of things. And I was able to leverage my experience, my business experience, and actually get into a position where I was hiring. So I became the hiring manager for a large event security company in the region.
Great.
And so I spent a few years just hiring people.
What was perhaps a takeaway or a couple of takeaways that you think trying to figure out how to present themselves as they're applying to jobs, as they're trying to craft their career path, having worked as a recruiter, are there any thoughts that you might be able to share on that? If there's a terrible or a very positive experience that you had as a recruiter, maybe there's something that can be gleaned out of a couple of those experiences?
Yeah, I think there's so many things that go into finding the right career that really, part of it is experimenting.
Yeah.
Trying out different things, learning what it is you like as far as work. This is one thing that I talk about a lot is the work, the actual work you're doing day to day, is it enjoyable? Is it intrinsically valuable? Are you getting something out of it? Something other than just income?
Yes.
Are you being challenged? So if you're being challenged, then you're improving your skills. Are you learning? All of those things, they're intrinsically valuable in the sense that by learning and improving your skills, you're giving yourself more opportunities in the future.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's just more satisfying.
That's right. Okay.
So,
that's great. And so you were with that event security company in a hiring manager role, another tool to put into your toolbox as you moved on to the journey to become a coach. Was there another step after that which then got you even closer to where you're at right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So at one point, I decided again to change careers. I'm going to say that adds to my credibility as a career change coach that I have changed myself many times, and I ended up working for one of Canada's largest gym companies in fitness. I became a personal trainer and then became a fitness manager. So I really, in that role as fitness manager, my job was to hire and train and coach personal trainers to help them build their skills, build their business, build their career.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first role I had where it was really all about coaching people.
Yeah, really helping them through their professional development journey to get to the next level in terms of their, fully using their capabilities and really reaching to the next level in terms of what they're delivering in terms of value to the employer.
Exactly. And when we talk about coaching, there's a lot of different understandings of what coaching is, but for me, the biggest thing that defines it is that it's about helping someone achieve the goals that they really want to. So it's really focused on helping that other person.
Yeah, that's great. And so the way you're looking at the coaching space is you're really focused on serving executives and also entry to mid-level professionals with their personal development, their career development, and you really focus on the niche of career change and acceleration. Would you mind speaking about what can trigger someone to pursue career change? And what is career acceleration to you? What does that really look like in someone's experience in the work environment?
Yeah, it's hard to pin down any one thing. It's because it's very individual.
Yes.
I often talk about people being in a career fog.
Yeah.
They're in a position where they know they're not quite happy or they're not quite satisfied with where they are at the moment, but they're not really sure what it is they want.
Yeah.
And they're not sure how to achieve it.
Yeah.
And so figuring those things out is really critical. And it can be different things. It can be stress, right? Sometimes the demands on people are just so much that it's taking more of their personal resources than they can handle, and they're suffering in other areas. Sometimes it's, I don't know if boredom is the right word, but
not being challenged enough, perhaps.
Exactly. Being in a position where you aren't really challenged, where there aren't a lot of opportunities to learn. And so you're just not feeling like I said, like the work itself is not really valuable. It's not achieving something.
Maybe it's not intrinsically motivating you.
Yeah, exactly. It's really all about that intrinsic motivation, and there's different aspects to that. What people figure out in helping to lift that career fog
Yes.
is that there's a number of different options. And it's not always changing jobs or changing industries. Sometimes it's just figuring out that where you are now, you can make it more valuable, more challenging, more rewarding, and having those options become clear, and figuring out what the possible courses of actions are and what the best actions are for you in particular. Really makes all the difference.
Yeah, because it could be that a person simply needs to make a shift in terms of adding an additional responsibility to make their work more engaging, right? Or it could be that they just need to have that hard conversation with their manager about, aspects of the job that they're really passionate about. And then there's aspects of their job where is there a way to move some of that to another colleague who's perhaps more passionate about that so that somebody can focus on their strengths, the things that they're passionate about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They can add more value to their employer.
Absolutely. And then when it comes to career acceleration, I feel like it's very similar in the sense that career acceleration is figuring out what tools, what skills, what experience you're missing in order to take that next step, to make that next move. Sometimes we talk about tools and frameworks and things, and in that context, it really helps to pay attention to feedback that you're getting, whether it's informal feedback from a manager or from a colleague, or whether it's formal reviews or 360-degree reviews. Those tools are fantastic. We also talk about different kinds of assessments. There are some assessments that help you to figure out where your strengths are, as we were discussing off.
Do you have one particular resource that's a go-to for you that you think at least you've found valuable, you've seen other people find value in? Would it be StrengthsFinder, Standout, MBTI? Is there one that has had the most significant impact as far as you've seen in terms of the output that people are then able to drive from having done that assessment?
Yeah. The ones that I've personally used, which is, to be honest, a limited range of them, for me, identifying strengths is great. But really figuring out where to take it from there, figuring out what action you can take based on that information is, I've seen a gap. I know some people, I think we were discussing this earlier, that one of them that you've worked with is
Standout by Marcus Buckingham. There's definitely a wealth of resources, and it's possible that someone could use one and find highly effective for them if they take the time to reflect on what the assessment says. Whereas if we just do it and put it in a drawer and not go back to it, that's when we will have wasted the money that we just spent on it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've worked a bit with the Everything Disc suite of assessments. And the reason that I like those ones is because they are really about personality and about highlighting the differences between how people communicate and what kinds of information is important to them. And it does incorporate a lot of that personal development work to make those changes, to understand people who are different from you, to figure out how to work better with them. And when talking about relationships, which is really what these types of assessments are about, is improving relationships and communication. Relationships are really, they are the framework of every work environment, every organization. They're all big social structures, and everything we do is sort of built upon that scaffolding of relationships.
That's right. Now let's shift gears a little bit and think about a scenario where someone is in a role within a company and they are not fully confident in their capabilities. So they're doing their best in their day-to-day work, but they're not confident enough in their abilities to pursue a higher level role within the organization, or while not fully satisfied in their role, they see it as a stable type of employment. And while there are opportunities in other companies to do something similar, potentially higher pay, they would be able to better support their family. But they're in this situation where they're doing good work, but they would be able to add more value to their employer, to add more value to society. They will be able to earn more money if they were to make a shift in terms of their career, whether by figuring out how to advance or move to another company. But it's the level of confidence that is where they're struggling. Do you have any thoughts on how someone can break through that particular challenge?
Yeah. I love that you brought confidence up, because this is something that I'm talking about a lot right now.
Yeah.
This is maybe going to sound a bit like a rant, but confidence is such a hot topic. People are always talking about needing self-confidence, wanting to be more confident. But it's often talked about as you either have it or you don't, and you need confidence. My background is in science, and when we talk about confidence, we are talking about things like statistical confidence, or we talk about it the way that meteorologists talk about confidence in percentages. And I like that idea a little bit better, because in that context, when you talk about confidence, you're talking about how well you are able to do something, or how confident you are, whether you can complete your job or your task or not.
Yes.
And for me, that makes it a little bit easier to understand. Nobody's saying you have to be 100% confident, but if you understand like exactly how confident you are.
75% might be enough. Just push through. You'll be able to do it, and you have sufficient confidence. You don't need to be 100% confident.
Well, and that's it. And that's it. And a lot of people are overconfident. And the thing is, if you have a good idea of how confident you are, you can also look at that task or that role a little bit more objectively and say, okay, I'm lacking some confidence. Why am I lacking confidence? What knowledge do I need? What experience do I need? What skills do I need to be more confident or more able to do this job?
That's a great way of looking at it. I appreciate you sharing it. It's very insightful. A final question. Are there any resources or ideas that you wanted to share that maybe we didn't have the chance to cover?
Yeah. I'm going to plug coaching a little bit.
Yep.
Coaching is a great resource for people who are, whether they know they want a career change, or whether they are, like I said before, in that career fog.
Yes.
Talking to someone who can really help you to think through the challenges that you're facing, think through that uncertainty, and come up with a plan. But even outside of that, I would say to people who are in that kind of position where they're not sure, to think about the different kinds of things that they want out of their job or out of their career. Often we dive into these conversations about career, and it's about earning and benefits, and definitely opportunities for advancement and security. Those are really important. But there's other things. There are things like relationships at work, at home. How do those things impact your life, those relationships all around in your life? How do they impact your time? Right? How much time do you want to be spending at work? Can you afford to be spending? Because you have time that you want to be spending in other places, right?
Yeah.
Think about really how enjoyable is that work going to be? I mean, if you're in a job that you literally don't like doing, you're going to have a hard time feeling really engaged and really productive, and in seeing some sort of future in that.
Yeah, and it'll be hard for you to advance, right? Because you do need to do things with excellence in order to be able to progress to the next level.
Yeah. So there's, those are just a couple of the things, but they're looking at how your job, how your career fits in to the rest of your life.
Yes.
And to, all the aspects of yourself.
Yes.
Is so important, and it takes a lot of just reflection and thought and honesty with yourself.
That's great. Thank you so much, John. This was such an insightful interview. I appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Career Planning Show, hosted by Alex Rashkanu and sponsored by Staple Studio. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the show, rate it, and share it with a friend.